Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Congo Hour. I am your host, Wayna, along with
Trippy. Thank you so much for watching. And as usual, Wayne is going to give us the lineup for this evening.
I know, but wait, Trippy, I'm
Yes.
looking. It seemed like Dave got my clip. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm wrinkled here, and
I
am
don't
I
know if you
okay?
can blame Dave for being wrinkled. But the truce was over.
We
weeks
have
ago.
a great show for you. I was hoping that Trippy was going to be running a little extra later because I wanted it to be the female segment.
Sorry.
Because our first part of the show, well, you wanted to make sure you were here.
I did.
The first part of the show, we have Lisa Blunt Rochester, who we are already calling Congresswoman. She has to win again in the general election. And we also have Hanifa Shabazz, Councilwoman Hanifa Shabazz, who will now be President of City Council. And then for the next half of the show, we have Lamar Gunn, who is running for Lieutenant Governor. So please, we're on Facebook Live. If you want to log on to my Facebook page, and you can write down any questions, comments that you may have. I'll do my best to read them off during the show.
Okay.
So.
Then, as always, we're going to have some community news. We'll have some birthday shout-outs. I know you have a special birthday shout-out.
Don't let me forget.
Yeah, we're going to have our funeral announcements, and I'm going to be on until 9:30 so you can have some extra time. So during that time, I'm going to talk some city politics and some community.
Oh, did you notice you said you going to be on?
I mean, because you always want to get up and leave as soon as I start the funeral announcements, but you're welcome to stay.
Why do I leave?
Because I don't know why you leave. That's a good question. Why do you leave?
Okay, don't even worry about it.
No, see? But you're welcome to stay.
Okay, I'm staying.
You're going to stay? So we'll be on until 9:30. And at the 9:30 break, Sam God will be on from 9:30 to 10.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
And congratulations and
I know.
all that good stuff.
I know. Let me. This was so funny. I went because I didn't know where Sister Hanifa was, and I kept trying to call Gundy. He wasn't answering his phone. He was celebrating with Hanifa, and so I knew that Lisa was at the Doubletree Hotel.
Okay.
So when I got there, you know, everybody were all excited and stuff. She didn't even realize the margin that she had won. She was like, let's talk about that.
Well, first of all, Wayna and Trippy, I want to thank you so much for your support throughout the course of this election and this campaign. You, your families, all the viewers who tuned in when I was on the show. I just feel so humbled and blessed. And as Wayna said, election day, I could feel something in the air. Like I was driving to different parts of the state. I was in Cheswold, I was in Sussex, and people were actually saying, hey, I voted for you. And you know, here in the city of Wilmington, over at Bancroft, and just different places. And I felt good, but I had prayed that morning. I said, you know, Lord, if it's your will that I win, let it be decisive, you know, so that there would be just no question. And so, man, God showed up and showed out, and they called the, you know, they said you won, and it was around 9 o'clock, and they said you got to go downstairs and you have to make a speech, and you know, and I spoke to the other candidates who called and gave me their best wishes, and which I really appreciated, and I went down, made the speech, talked to different media, hugged family, and then like around 10 o'clock, it might have been 10 or 11. I saw the screen and saw that we had actually won by 19 points and had won Kent, Sussex, and Newcastle County. And I just said,
Go girl.
Thank you, to God be the glory. That was just the best, most exciting day. But I, to be honest with you, I was happy for a moment, and then I had to get right back to work because this election is so important, and the time is it's so pivotal. And so, you know, I'm glad to have the opportunity just to come back on and tell people, you know, you don't sleep on this election. You know, use your right to vote. It is imperative right now, you know, not just me, but for so many other candidates across our country. The issues are too important to sit back. And so I just want to thank everybody for their support. I was just humbled and so just it's said a lot to me about us, you know, as Delawareans, and you know, just all of the support from your parents, your just everybody, your family, my sister and my family, and Hanifa. Oh my goodness, it's just been an incredible journey, but we are not across the finish line yet. So that's really what I want to remind people of. We're almost there.
So when you do cross that finish line, just tell people what your responsibility will be in DC.
That's a great question, because first of all, Delaware has one congressperson. That congressperson and 2 senators, and that congressperson will represent us in Washington, D.C. And work on things at the federal level, everything from making sure that we have good constituent services. And I started off as a caseworker in the congressional office here under Tom Carper back in 1987, 1988, helping people with Social Security, helping them with IRS problems that they had with the IRS, helping people who were homeless, you know, with housing. And so there are many issues that the federal government is responsible for. And so as your congressperson, my focus would be on economic opportunity, making sure that we bring jobs to Delaware, making sure that we look at resources to rebuild and strengthen our infrastructure, like our roads and bridges, because those are good jobs, and it also helps the economy. So for me, that's one of the big areas. Equal pay for equal work for women, and that's one of the areas that, you know, Hanifa, we will talk a little bit about on the city level as well, but just making sure that we have fairness, you know, as people try to get jobs, that they get equal pay for equal work and a livable wage. You know, that's another thing that we talk about on the federal level, is raising the minimum wage. There are a host of issues, criminal justice reform. There are things that can be done at the federal level, and education as well, particularly everything from pre-K to college affordability. Like 40 million other Americans, I have 2 grown children who are in debt because of college, you know, loans, student loans. And so even working to make sure that we can see if we can have debt-free college, that is important to Delaware, it's important to America. And so I really want to just go and represent us well in Washington.
And you will do well. And the one thing, we're going to go to Council President Hanifa Shabazz. The one thing that I appreciated about her was she wanted, I mean, we invited them both on, but she wanted to make sure that she came on to support Lisa. That's the sisterhood, and I love that so much. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
How did you feel?
Oh my gosh. Well, I felt very good. You know, it was a very pleasant journey. It was a hard journey. You know, going citywide under 8 times what I was normally doing. But the response that I was getting back from everyone was very, very, you know, positive. So I kept focused on what my goal. And when I got there, I was, here it is. Thank you. You know, all the trials I went through was preparing me for what it's going to take for me to be this, to fulfill this position. So I'm ready and excited and very, very grateful to everyone who supported me in whatever capacity. You know, some people gave me prayers. Those of you who evidently voted for me, and those who just helped me along the whole way. You know, I'm just very, very grateful and humbled and for this position. You know, because it's historical also. I have to say that, you know, to be the first woman, there's no template for how a woman presides over city council. So I get an opportunity to create that on my own, right? So, looking forward to doing that and working along with Lisa, you know, the things that she's going to do on the congressional level. I'll be able to feed what our needs are up to a congressperson that can hear us and understands what I'm talking about. And that's one thing about the beautiful part about the politics in Delaware. We're we can touch each other on all levels. You know, working strongly with our state and our county and also our congressional delegation to really speak on the voices of the people who come to our civic meetings and on our neighborhood planning councils and tell us what their needs are, and then we can send it up the pipeline and get it done for our community. So I'm excited, looking forward to working with her.
I want to add, you know, what I love is that, you know, it just hit me sitting here at this moment when Hanifa, Madam President-elect, was talking about the historical nature of this, and I had a flashback to all the years that we work together
Yeah.
on so many things in the community, from all the great things that you have done, you know, from the newspaper to the festival to the economic development things that you have done in the communities in our city. And so to actually have had like a lot of these different experiences, drug marches, I mean, you name it, and now I am hopeful that I will be elected, because to be able to really put all of those experiences and all those connections and contacts with folks that have worked so hard, now to be able to do something with that is at a different level is a great opportunity and a blessing. So
And also in November I will be receiving the mallet for the presidency of the National Black Caucus of local elected officials. It was not my intention to have both of these presidential positions at the same time, but the person who was to take it this next year, I would have been president-elect going in 2017. It was not successful in their election, so it bumped me up a year. So I'm saying this is divine intervention, that I'm presiding over both entities at the same time, and then having such a positive connection with, you know, our congressional delegation, because we our national caucus, we refer legislation up to the congressional level. So we will be sending collectively all of the issues that are faced all in our urban cities and cities across the city up to our congressional. And I have a personal contact with someone, you know, that is exciting. So yes, you will win November 8th. We will make sure that, because this has to manifest for us. You know?
That's right. So, Alvin, I apologize. Alvin, if you would be kind and put Lisa's information back up on the screen. You can go to her website, lisablunt.rochester.com, and please give. Like she said, she still has until November the 8th.
Yes.
And the telephone number is there for volunteers. You need a yard sign. We still got yard signs?
We ran out, but we just got a new shipment in this week.
All right.
Which is good news. That's good news.
Yes.
So Hanifa, you've been on City Council 12 years.
12 years.
Now, right? What made you decide to run for president?
Well, I really wanted to go for mayor, honestly, but I know.
Watch out.
I'm just saying.
She's like, wait a minute now.
But I just, you know everything happens in time.
Right.
You know, so I have patience and understand. Also know that there was a little bit more skill sets that I needed also in order for me to go up to that next level. So being able to preside over council gives me that next level of knowledge of city operations, and also it gives me a chance to create the legislative environment that I feel we need to enhance. The City Council is the legislative branch of government, and my goal is to make us have a more legislative focus, partnering more with administration to address the constituency service type things, but not it being our major responsibility. Our code is very old, and when we want to present resolutions up to a congressional delegation, we need to have it something that is prime, up to speed, and really is going to accomplish what we really need to accomplish. So, you know, that's my goal as president, and then I have the environment for to be able to help to bring about all of the neighborhood revitalization work that we've been doing. With Lisa's help sending us federal dollars and things of that nature.
That's right.
That's right. And it's good to have somebody, like you said, have somebody on the team who is just as passionate as you know, as we are. We all know Lisa's family history with the city of Wilmington, and just being community driven and community focused. So it's really a blessing to have like this team.
Can I say one thing? I can remember before I even got into politics, Lisa would come into the bookstore and we had a long conversation. And I reflect back on that. That was a really bonding moment for us, that we've been able to see things the same way and have that kind of synergy. So we've been sisters for a long. Yes, it has. Yes, long time.
My goodness. But yeah, I tell you, I am ready to serve. You know, and I think that there are so many people out there that are surviving, but not yet thriving.
That's right.
And so, for me, you know, I just want to go be that champion, that advocate for, you know, for the families and the communities here in Delaware. And I'm excited about it. I am excited. And one of the things that I noticed up and down the state, I think the reason why the message that got out there and why we won is because people liked the fact that it was a positive message. It was about opportunity, economic opportunity, social justice, and it was also about coming together. And so our tagline has been Together Forward. We're not going to go forward on gun violence or any of these issues if we don't come together first.
Right.
And so that has been the message. And again, I just really need people to get out and vote, because a lot of people might think, oh, well, I voted in the mayoral election, I voted in the lieutenant governor election, I voted in. That was the primary. We still have a general election to win. And we've seen stranger things happen.
Right.
People think, oh, they got it, and they wake up the next morning and it's gone.
Correct.
And so I've been telling people, rise and shine. Do not fall asleep on this election.
That's right.
Rise and shine. We need to stay awake. So
Very good.
Well, we know you have to leave. Yeah, so we do appreciate your time.
I'll
And
be back.
Yeah, I was
I know,
gonna say,
that's
I was
right.
gonna say
I
that
got you.
it's important. I think it's really important that we continue to have these kind of conversations. I know you're gonna be really busy. Both of you will be really busy, but you know, when you find time, just give us a call on a Sunday. You can come by and
Definitely.
just keep us updated with what's going on, especially down in Washington, so we can all just rally around you. And
we can do like a 5-minute segment.
Yeah,
I
there
know
we
that's
go.
right.
There we
Live
go.
from Washington.
All right.
I can come with. Okay, I got you. We're gonna
Because
bring
we,
the camera
we
people
actually
to
have this,
Washington.
we have this thing that whenever I'm giving a speech at the end, that we say, when Lisa goes to Washington, we
all
go to
go. I love
Washington.
that.
So we all going to go to
Okay.
Washington.
All right. And that's
all
important
right.
too, that people
Yes.
understand how politics works.
Yeah.
Not only on the city level and the state,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, on that level also, on
That's
the federal
right.
level.
That's
So.
Really important. You can maneuver the process if you know how
Right.
it works,
That's
the rules of
right.
it.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you guys so
All
much
right,
for
you're welcome.
everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Lamar Gunn.
Yes.
All right, welcome back. Just before we go to our next interview, I want to wish my love.
Trippy.
I'm taking all your thunder, okay? Okay?
Go ahead.
Today is Wayna's
Not
mom's.
today. It was the 6th.
I mean the 6th. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say on the 6th. Well, it was Wayna's mom's birthday. So I want to say happy belated birthday to Miss Vicky. I hope you had a wonderful day. I love you, and I know you love me just as much. I had to get that in there.
How you gonna get
Because that's my girl.
Well, wait a minute, y'all. So this is so funny. My mom needed to go get her license renewed, right? So she was like, "What are you doing? Are you working tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yes." So I was like, "Why?" She was like, "It's my birthday." But she's like, "I gotta go to motor vehicle, and I don't know how to work the computer stuff." So I said, "Okay, I'll go with her." But she didn't have to work the computer stuff. But it's all, she knows it now because her girlfriend told her. I FaceTimed her live getting her license. You gotta see it. She was like pressing and posing for the camera, and my mother hates getting pictures taken. But she was very grateful for you for giving the notice that she reminded you about 20 times about the St. Peter's
how could I forget?
alumni reunion. It was yesterday.
Okay.
We had a lot of fun.
That's good.
I want to also talk about All Things Girly, which is going to be a black tie event on December the 16th from 6 to 11 at the Doubletree Hotel, and tickets are $20. You can reach out to Michelle Booker. She's on Facebook, or you can inbox me and I'll get you the information. Michelle and her husband McKeeb are doing great things in the community, and we definitely want to support them on December the 16th from 6 to 11. And Councilwoman to be in the 4th District, Michelle Harley, is reminding all of us that if you are not registered to vote, it's not too late to register. You have until October the 15th to be able to vote in the general election. Okay. Somebody said, "Wake up, Trippy."
That's because that's the angle
That's
of
the
the phone.
angle.
Yeah, that's all. That's what that is. So we want to welcome our next guest to the show. I'm not sure you've been on here. You've been on here before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
figured you have been. Lamar Gunn, who is running for lieutenant governor, is no stranger to the show, no stranger to the city of Wilmington.
At all.
Not at all. Doing some great things.
And he
Thank you
grew,
for
he
having
grew up
me.
in the best neighborhoods that there are to grow up in, right?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes, that's for sure.
So take some time just to introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself to people.
Reintroduce
people
myself.
who may have not seen you the first time you came on.
Certainly. Thank you again for having me.
All right.
And what was your mother's name again? I want to tell her happy birthday.
I already did that. I already did that. Don't do that.
Miss Vicky, happy birthday.
No, I already wished her happy birthday. Only I can wish her happy birthday, okay?
Well, I'm going to take her a birthday gift on my way home.
We
Oh,
got to go to break.
Yes. Once again, Lamar Gunn, I'm so happy to be here and honored to be here. I moved here from Los Angeles to the west side, Lancaster Avenue, not far from here, as a matter of fact. And then from there, I moved to Newcastle. Sophomore year of high school, Newcastle, Oakmont, right near Wayna and Dunleaf. So Oakmont, that's my home, that's what I rep. Looking to get us a seat at the table. I can tell you, this has definitely been a hard road. I remember waiting in those lines for that block of cheese, hours of line, hours at a time. I don't know if you remember that. But
I don't.
well, we had to wait in line at the Dilawar to get blocks of cheese, bags of rice, powdered milk, which was absolutely disgusting. But kids today couldn't make it on that. But, you know, we grew up poor, and I appreciate everything that I've worked for today. And it's time that we get a seat at the table as far as state government is concerned. If you don't have a seat at the table, they say, you're on the menu. I am our seat at that table. We're going to change some things in Delaware this year with this election.
So what made you decide to run for lieutenant governor?
I sat in on a Board of Pardons meeting.
Okay.
And just blew me away. There are normally 5 people on a Board of Pardons. Right now there are 4 because the previous lieutenant governor is now the attorney general, so there's a vacancy. So what's been happening is some of the votes have come down to a tie. And if there's a tie, that means no vote. Or not no vote, but no pardon. And when you have cases like a young man at Delaware State University who got in trouble smoking weed in his dorm as a freshman and then goes and finishes his undergraduate degree at Del State and stays an extra year and gets a master's degree and gets offered a high-tech job in D.C., only thing is just that he needs this pardon. So he goes before the pardon board, and I won't mention his name here, but he goes before the pardon board, tells his story. I'm blown away. And you would think that it was going to be unanimous. But to my surprise and everyone else's in the room that day, he did not get a pardon. So this young man...
That was his only charge?
That was his only charge. Had never been in trouble before, no other charges. And he was told it's not enough time, come back in a few years. And that was absolutely ridiculous.
How long ago was this?
That was earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this year, and of course I joined in April after I was endorsed by the Republican Party for the position, which was the first time that that's happened in 228 years in the state's history. And I said, you know, we have to do some things about this. And another big reason why I ran was because when I walked through the city of Wilmington, certain parts of Wilmington, like I coached for many years in Riverside, these kids lack any and all hope right now. And it hurts me. You know, it hurts me that so many years later, after growing up like I did, that so many kids are still struggling, and our elected officials, many at the state level, we have great people at the city council and even in the city of Wilmington, even at the county level, but at the state level, who do we have that we can go to say we need help, and they really go all out to get things done? We have people representing us in different pockets and even districts, but who do we have at the state level? No one right now, but on November 8th, that will change for sure.
Yeah, that example you just gave me about when you were at the pardon board. I don't know if you want to keep talking about that, or if you want to go to.
Sure, I can.
Yeah, who else is who's on that board?
Let me tell you, on the pardon board, and this would really shock you as well, and somebody's calling me on my phone right now as well, but sorry, I didn't turn that off. But on the pardon board, you have 5 people. You have the Secretary of State, who is Bullock. I think it's Jeff Bullock, I believe his name is. The Vice Chancellor of the Chancery Court. And then you have the state auditor and also the state treasurer. The state auditor, Tom Wagner, and the state treasurer, Ken Sempler. Now, I'm sure this might shock you as well. Guess who voted no?
Tell us.
I want you to guess, actually, because you would probably guess that the 2 Republicans voted no, but it's actually not the case. Those were the ones that voted yes.
How do you know they voted?
You can tell. They go out and you get a sense when they come back and someone gives an explanation, and the person acting as the president was the Secretary of State, and he gave the reasoning and so forth, which nobody could understand. And there are many other cases. There are many other cases that go on, and it's to sit there and hear so many people that are talking about crimes that they committed 15 years ago, sexual assault or something like this. I mean, it's hard to sit through a pardon board. It's pretty much, it goes for a good part of the day, and to see all the different stories and to see the people that come up for pardons, it would shock your conscience to see just that, you know, this young lady who you know that goes to church with you, who might be the typical, I guess, I don't want to generalize, but some folks you would never believe that have committed things or crimes get pardons. But I can tell you is in my opinion that pardons are not given fairly as far as the people who are receiving pardons. I don't believe the system and process is fair. And for one, I believe we waste a lot of money with having folks come through these long lines and so forth in the process of getting a pardon, versus just if you haven't been in any trouble in 10 or 15 years, I mean, really, to go through these months and a year of this long drawn out process, and then to have to also get an expungement. Why can't it be that if you get the pardon, it's an automatic expungement?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And if you haven't been, you should be able to submit a request online and to cut down on the time that it takes to get before the board. Submit something online and have folks review it. It would save tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, towards the budget, which, you know, we need every dime or penny that we can get right now, especially with the increase in interest, increase in insurance rates earlier this week, 32.5%. You know, elected officials at the state level are making it very difficult for the average family today, and that must stop.
So on that note, give us a little bit of your background.
My background, I am a stockbroker. I run a wealth management practice in Dover. I'm the CEO. My office is at 11 North State Street, so I'm not just here to tell you something and do something different. You know, you can find me. My mother still lives. You know, we have a hair salon in Wilmington. Wayna clearly knows where to find me, but or find my wife.
You have to say it like that.
Or find my wife. So, you know, I'm real to this. I grew up in Oakmont. Like I said, I was fascinated by finance and money because no one in my family or my circle of friends could tell me about the stock market. So I decided to go learn myself. And since then, you know, I believe that is the game changer for us, is that we make so much more money, and I'm talking to my black brothers and sisters right now. We make so much money now, so much more money than what my grandparents and what my parents made, except we own very little. We own very little, so we don't have much influence. So, you know, I started out at Merrill Lynch, worked there for several years, and then decided that, you know, I didn't want to be pushed into selling people what the firm thought they should have. You know, I wanted to be able to put people in investments that I knew was right for them. And we've been doing that for close to 20 years now. And I'm proud to say that, you know, many kids, especially in the Dover area, you know, we've been introduced to the schools. We have a partnership with the Cesar Rodney School District to go in and teach poor kids about the importance of saving and investing, that they just don't have to have the best Nikes and so forth, but they could actually own Nike. You know, they don't have to just be back and forth posting pictures and things on Facebook. They can own Facebook. So those are some of the things that we're doing to try to lift the community. And because if you don't have, until black dollars matter, black lives will never matter.
That's good. We have a question from Facebook. The question is, what else does Lieutenant Governor do, as well as can you vote for any candidate from any party in the general election, or just your party affiliation?
No, in the general election, and I didn't mean to laugh, but I can tell you that out on the campaign trail, that many people say, well, how can I vote for you? Because I'm a Democrat. And it shocks my conscience, but this is real. You can vote for anyone during a general election, it's pick the best candidate. Don't get tied. What we do as a community is we vote 95% one particular party. And where has that gotten us? It's very tough right now. But I can tell you, by doing that, Democrats have neglected the African American community. And Republicans pay no attention at all to us because they assume that we're going to vote straight ticket Democrat. But we must change that this election cycle. It's an extremely important election cycle. And just think about it. Think about this. If you vote for candidates versus political parties, vote for candidates, not political parties, because that's the only way that you change our predicament in Delaware. And if you really want to take it another step further, if you're not happy with the way you've been treated, the schools in the city of Wilmington, you know, kids are forced to remain in failing schools. The criminal justice system here, 85+% of the prison population looks like me. I have a problem with that. There's limited opportunities. People have sat around and watched places like General Motors, where I worked at, close. Chrysler, where I worked at, close, gone. So that has impacted the minority community the most. So if you want to send a message, try something different this election cycle. Vote Republican and watch and see what would happen. And I'm not saying the entire ticket.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying the entire.
Yo, wait a minute, I'm going to show y'all my face I was making. How was your face, Trippy?
Elizabeth, this is the big one.
Woo! Right?
Just vote Trippy, no.
Woo, that was that.
No, but
oh my goodness, Lamar.
check this out, though.
Go
Listen,
ahead.
what will happen is Democrats who've neglected the entire our community for years will finally realize that, you know what, we might have to earn that vote for a chance instead of just getting the benefit of it for free. Republicans would say, wow, what just happened? How have we neglected the African American community for all these years? I mean, historically, we couldn't even vote Democrat. And I understand the Republican Party is not what it used to be. But, you know, I don't really see a whole lot of opportunity for us on the other side. And I'm getting a lot of support where I am. My values and so forth align best with the Republican Party. I'm just like you. I come from, as I would say, the hood. I've made it out of some places that I wasn't supposed to make it out of, and I'm proud of that. And as a community, we just have to grow up politically. We have been immature for far too long. Like, look at the city of Wilmington as a prime example. Don't just say, oh, he's just talking out of the side of his mouth, but this is true. Like, look at the mayoral race in the city of Wilmington. Those results come because we're politically immature. I can tell you some candidates who had Republicans switch party to vote for them in a primary, which was a strategic move, and it worked. And we let egos get in the way, and we had all these candidates in that mayoral race instead of saying, hey, listen, why don't we back a young guy like Eugene Young, and who could bring some fresh ideas, and I think you would have a different result in the city. Unfortunately, you know, we let ego get in the way, and it hurts the community as a whole. But nothing against the winner in the primary, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
How can people help you, Lamar?
People can help me. One, pray. But two, you're going to have to work like it all depends on you and pray like it all depends on God. This is a very, very important election for us. We haven't had this opportunity to sit at this table for 228 years, so that means in state history. So what I'll need you to do is tell your friends, your family, co-workers to get out and vote. And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, I believe I represent all people. So what I need for you to do is get on the phones, get a yard sign, go to my website, which is www.gunforus, that's FORUS.com. And, or give me a call. I don't know if my telephone number has been on the screen, but yeah, give me a call. I need your help. Most of all, I need your prayers. We have to get this together. It's not going to be easy. People aren't just going to roll over and say, hey, take it. You know, there's a reason why we haven't had a seat at the table, and it goes well beyond Republican or Democrat. So let's get this, and we have to get it together.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, job well done.
Yeah. Trippy, before we take a break, Lamar has his I Wear Pink button. And this
Here, I'm going to give it to Trippy real fast.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I want to encourage, especially the women and men need to get tested as well. But especially women, I came up with all these excuses. I've been busy or whatever. And the Helen Graham Center has appointments every other Saturday. So I went on yesterday. So I want to encourage everyone to please make sure that you go get your annual mammogram.
Yeah, I saw a commercial earlier where it was just showing how the men have a role in that also, as far as making time, I guess giving the women a break so that they can go get their breast exam.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
It was a pretty cool commercial. He was like playing with the kids, he was cleaning the house, he was doing all the things I guess normally that his wife would do.
Right.
So she could make time to make an appointment to go out and get her breast exam. So you know, we have a very important role in that as well, as encouraging the women who we know to go out and get breast exams.
Very good. That gives me an idea for the funeral home.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you later.
All right. We'll take a really quick break, and we'll be back with our funeral announcements. And right now, we're going to switch over to Wayna, and she's going to give us some community news.
All right. We want to give a birthday shout out to Miss Mildred Ragsdale. She watches us every Sunday.
Oh, thank you, Miss Mildred.
And it's from Pat and Floyd Reed. So thank you so much. Her birthday is tomorrow. Hope you have a blessed day tomorrow. Also, I was on Facebook while you were doing that, and Francine Wallace reminded me that October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I'm going to get with her on more information about that. We can probably have her come back on real soon.
Definitely has to come back on. She's been doing some really good things around domestic violence.
Yes.
She's been touring the country. She's been touring the country,
Yeah.
telling her story and just bringing out awareness around domestic violence. You know, just making women, especially, but also men, aware that you don't have to stick around. You have to put up with it. And
that's right.
When you do, sometimes the consequences can be dire. In her case, they were. She survived, but she. You know, went through a terrible, traumatic time in her life. When she's recovered, and she took that opportunity to just to make other people aware of the danger of accepting domestic violence and thinking that it can't happen to them. Like worst things can't happen.
That's right.
And I definitely want to thank her for that. She could have just stayed in her own lane and not spread it, not spread the news, but she didn't do that. And she's just trying to make us all aware of what she went through, and hopefully we won't have to go through the same situation. Yeah.
All right, and then the shift is going to be October 28th. That's when Bishop Aretha Morton retires and Dr. Donald Morton is installed. They're going to have their guest speaker is Bishop Paul S. Morton, who everyone sees, well, not everybody, but he's a national known bishop, and it's going to be at Tabernacle Full Gospel Baptist Cathedral, and it begins at 7 p.m. and I know they're going to be on time, so make sure you're there on time to get a seat. Once again, that's October 28th when Bishop Aretha Morton retires and Dr. Donald Morton becomes the pastor.
All right, and this weekend is Dell State's homecoming, so I want to encourage all alumni to meet me down there this weekend. We're going to have a great time, watch the game.
Are you doing
just
that
reunite.
the tent and everything?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're going to have a little day party on Saturday for just alumni and people just to come and have a good time and stuff. Family atmosphere, free food. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this weekend we're going to celebrate Dell State. Well, every weekend we celebrate.
So will you be here next
Dell
Sunday?
State.
Or
yes, I'll be here. And actually, my father and I, my dad and I, we're going to be in a parade.
In Dell State's parade?
Yeah, in Dell State's parade.
Oh, that's nice.
So I want to thank the Alumni Association and Dell State
That's
for
really
letting us be a
nice.
part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be in the parade Saturday, and then they're going to have a luncheon around some people that they are recognizing who went to Dell State. So it's going to be a nice event on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. I want to definitely thank Dell State for reaching out and asking us to be a part of it. All right, so I think that's it for our community news, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to come right back, and we're going to take some live calls, and we'll just talk about community. All right, stay tuned.